So I was watching Julio a little bit the other day, and you guys hit one of those deep outs last year against Carolina, at Carolina. Incredible throw, by the way. Very well done. And I was watching it, and just the idea that this is a 31-year-old guy putting the fear of God in a corner that runs 4-3 and making him fall over. I don't think we appreciate him enough. And I wanted to ask you, as somebody who watches him every day and has such a closeness and an intimacy of what he does well, what don't we appreciate about Julio that you can really only understand when you watch him with that closeness every day?
Well, I think it's the violence with which he runs. It's so intimidating. He is so physically gifted in terms of making people feel that he's just going to blow right by them, because his stride length, his gait, it's unbelievable, and it's impressive to watch. It never gets old. I mean, you can be around him for as long as I have, and you watch it every day, and it's always incredibly impressive. But you're right. I mean, he is as good as anybody of getting guys feeling like he's running a go route or running a post route, and then his ability to stop, at that level of explosiveness and still come out of it, at 6'3" and as big and strong as he is. It's not easy to do, and well, it's not. I mean, nobody can do it other than him. So
yes,
it's impressive to watch every day, and he does it with such consistency too, which is impressive. He really is incredibly consistent when it comes to those type of routes.
It's one of the more singular skills in all of the NFL, I think. And when you're just thinking about what one guy does at a level no one else does, it's one of the first things that I think about. So obviously, some of the trade rumors bubbling up about him, I'm sure navigating that is always strange. But it's probably even tougher when you're in offensive meetings and you're looking at him and Calvin and Kyle Pitts now and just thinking, we can do something with this. How do you just navigate that when you understand we have the players in place to win now, but as a franchise, there's always going to be other considerations they have to take into account?
I think that's the hard thing, at any time. I mean, the reality is, because of his level of success and that he's had in his career, this is a major story. But within your locker room, this is constantly happening. This is constantly happening to guys where you're not sure how long they're going to be there. There's transactions happening all the time, and it's difficult. It's the part of it's the part of the job that sucks. But you have to just stay in pocket of focusing on, we're all here right now, and we all got to focus on what we're going to do together right now. And then you make adjustments as adjustments come in the future. But beyond that, you worry about day to day and focusing on trying to, get better today, make sure that I know the system a little better today, that we all know it a little better today. And then, not worry so much about, down the line, because in my career, I've been around a long time. There's been lots of different things happen. You just have to adjust to it.
And the push and the pull of the president in the future is something a franchise always has to balance. And the Falcons in general, I think we're at that point coming into the draft. They have the 4th overall pick in a quarterback-heavy draft. You just turned 36. Was there a conversation at any point, be it with ownership, the front office, about what your future in Atlanta would look like and whether they were considering taking a quarterback in the top 5?
No, I mean, they're clear to me that, that their job is to find the best players that they feel like help our organization moving forward. And, you can't help but respect that as a player. And so I didn't really know much else other than that. And, I've always felt like I still have a lot of production and a lot of really good years in front of me. But they felt like Kyle was, the best person for our organization moving forward. And so, that's all you can really ask for from a player's standpoint, is just to be transparent about, we're going to find the guy we feel is best. And if it's at your position, it's your job and your responsibility to not let him beat you out. But if it is, somebody else, then you've got to get them coached up and, get them as far along as you can as a player. So that's kind of how I've always approached it. And, I think that the further you get into your career, the more you understand that, at some point it's going to happen, right? At some point, I'm not going to play forever. So at some point there's going to be somebody who's going to come in and replace me. But, my mindset is to not make that happen for a little while. I still feel really good.
When did you know it was Kyle Pitts? When they made the pick?
Yeah, I think kind of like everybody else, right? When the commissioner comes on and says it, I was excited that he was going to be a part of it.
How much did you know about him previously? Had you watched him at all?
Yeah, one of our equipment guys is a University of Florida guy, and so Joey's been telling me about Kyle Pitts forever. And I've also heard about him because he grew up or he went to high school basically in the southeastern Pennsylvania area. So he's kind of a legend up there, but he went to Archbishop Wood, which I have some cousins who went there, and my mom went there. And so I knew a little bit about him. And then, you catch highlights and stuff like that, and he makes some unbelievable plays. So he had an impressive college career.
How are you with rookies now? Is it like an instant text message? Do you let them come to you? I mean, you're 16 years older than him. So navigating that, I'm sure, is just different than it used to be.
I know. It was funny. The first time I met him, he was talking about my high school, and he's like, "You guys aren't very good at football." And I was like, "Well, man, back in 2001, 2002, we were okay,
When he was like, 1 year old.
One. That's what he told me. He's like, "I was one." I was like, "Oh, all right, that's not good." But no, I think I sent him a text message after we drafted him and said, "Congratulations, enjoy this experience. It's a once in a lifetime deal. So soak it up, because you're in year 14 before you know what happened. And so just enjoy that and soak it up. And then, really when it's time to get to work, I'm really looking forward to getting to work with you and trying to be, the best teammate I can be to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve."
I remember you told me a story about Lawyer Malloy and you when you were a rookie. And you were sitting there during OTAs, and he essentially told you that they needed speakers in the locker room. Like the vibe in the locker room just wasn't there. And you had the equipment guys put in speakers in the locker room. And that was a way to ingratiate yourself to the rest of the team as a rookie taken third overall. As you now have flipped that relationship, and now you're Lawyer Malloy, how do you have to think about different ways to bond with guys? Do you consciously think about that stuff? It's like, all right, how do I create a connection now when I'm now the older guy in the locker room?
Yeah, I think you do. Obviously interests are different, and we're at different stages in life. But I think you find common interests or things that you're into. It could be sports, talking about basketball or, what guys are into. NBA playoffs are usually the thing that brings everybody on the team together. Everybody loves watching it. You're usually in the off-season program at that point. So you're getting ready for practice. You're talking about the games the night before, just little stuff like that. Just being, just being a friend, being a human, and getting to know people on that level. I think I never really try and force it. I don't try and do anything different than I would do with anybody else. I just lay it out there. This is who I am. This is what I'm into. If you're about football, if you're about winning, if you're about those things, we're going to get along perfect. And so that's kind of always how I've approached it.